What is good? What is good, everybody? Let me make sure my sound and audio is Gucci for the show tonight. While we're getting everything ready to go, let me make sure my audio is Gucci. Let me make sure my sound is Gucci in the studio for tonight. We got quite a bit to speak on tonight, you guys. Quite a bit to speak on. I really appreciate y'all for joining me last night, the July 4th edition of the show. You know what I'm saying? I'm here on the holidays. You know what I'm saying? I'm here on the holidays reporting on that hip hop news. Every chance I get the opportunity, I'm going to come on here and speak to you guys. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty much my livelihood. You know what I mean? It's pretty much what I've been into since I was a kid, talking about hip hop news, relaying hip hop information. Tonight we've got quite a topic to speak on. I definitely appreciate everybody for tapping in. You know what to do when you tap in the building. Make sure you let me know what city you're repping. Let me know what city you're tapping in from, and be sure to hit that like button, you guys, on the tap in tonight. Make sure you hit that like button and show some love to the channel. Also, let me know what you're blazing and what city and state you're tapping in from, guys. Major love to everybody on the tap in. Major love to everybody coming into the chats, showing love, participating in the conversation. Tonight we have an epic one to get into. Tonight we have to get into Gillie inadvertently exposing Wack 100, or should I call him Officer Rat 100? Officer Wacky. What is it? Officer Ricky? Officer Rat 100, please report to the precinct. We're going to need you to come back to the precinct, Officer Rat 100, and refuel. So right now the world is kind of at a standstill. The world of hip hop is kind of at a standstill. We saw what happened when Wack 100 made his way to the BET Awards. Didn't seem like there was too much static when it came to N.O.R.E. And I will come on here and say N.O.R.E. did an interview with Scott Storch, Drink Champs. Salute to EFN. You know what I mean? And they actually mentioned Wack 100 on the show, you guys. They actually mentioned Wack 100 on the show. So it doesn't seem like Wack 100's issues squeezing N.O.R.E, having N.O.R.E in his back pocket. It doesn't seem like that's phasing N.O.R.E at this point in time. The two ended up taking pictures together. So all that controversy, all the talk of everyone's going to turn their back on Wack 100, I think you can sweep that under the rug. I think you can sweep that under the rug, you guys. But the major question is, did Gillie Da Kid bring J Prince on his show because everybody started hearing about the issue that started spinning, the issue that started gaining traction? This issue of Larry Hoover started gaining a whole lot of momentum, you guys. The issue that Wack 100 had much more of a platform to speak on than J Prince did at the time. At the time, J Prince did not have a bigger platform to actually speak on this incident. But he got it. He got it on Ghetto Boys Reloaded. He got it on the $1 million. He got it on the $1 million worth of game podcast. And although Wack was not brought up by Wallo or Gillie specifically, his name was brought up quite a few times. Hell, there were even text messages read, you guys. There were even text messages read between Kanye West and Wack 100. Can you believe that? There were actually messages going back and forth with Wack 100 and Kanye West. And this is something in a different regard to Easy. We all know that Wack 100 is the liaison for the game when it comes to linking him up with various artists. Kanye West is actually the only one that I could pinpoint in my mind at this present time that the game has done a feature with. Somebody in the chat, if anybody in the chat knows some of the more recent game features, and I'm not talking about All Eyes on Me, produced by Scott Storch. What's up? What's up? Detroit's in the building. Let me know what city and state you're tapping in from, you guys. Appreciate everybody for tapping in tonight. We got Maryland in here. Boston is ready. Appreciate everybody for tapping in from all the different cities. You already know what it is. We're going live tonight with some epic conversation. Gillie Da Kid had Jay Prince on the show, you guys. Gillie had Jay Prince on the show, and Jay Prince inadvertently, well, Jay Prince knew what the hell he was doing. Jay Prince went balls to the wall. Who was that? Lil Jon and the Ying Yang Twins. You know what I'm saying? He went all the way in. Pause. You know what I mean? He went all the way in on Wack 100, and that video currently sits at over 1 million views. The $1 million worth of game interview with Jay Prince, where Jay Prince is calling him Officer Rat 100, sits at over 1 million views currently, y'all. What is up? What is up? What is up? New Rochelle, New York in the building. NYC's up in here. Much love, city boy. Sofrito, what's up? Boston. We got Boston on the tap in tonight. So Jay Prince went in on Wack 100. You know, they were talking about the reform. They were talking about bringing Kanye West together with Drake, ending the beef to help get some good light on his father's legacy, his father's bid for freedom. Larry Hoover Jr. was like, we put our efforts there and brought them together, hoping it would be a blueprint for the other artists to try and follow, to see if the guys can bring it together and put their differences aside, to make money and enjoy life. And maybe some other people will follow suit. Because there's way too many of these guys out here feeling like they're living the gangster life when they should be living the millionaire life. I thought they became entertainers to get out of the street. This is Larry Hoover's son speaking, you guys. Larry Hoover Jr. Jay Prince echoed him. We put out efforts. He said, actually, it was important for us to accomplish a few things with that movement. One, being with the first, be an example for the culture, to be able to see the beef come together. On another note, we gave $500,000 away to prison reform, to people on the ground fighting for the freedom of the inmates, and to accommodate the kids. Also, we wanted to bring a light to the First Step Act, which Larry is qualified to get some, Wallo interjected, some relief. Jay Prince went on, some justice with. That's where the interference came from. Officer Rat 100. He's got a new name, you guys. Officer Rat 100. Paging Officer Rat 100. We have a fender bender. You know, all that little bullshit charges. All them little bullshit charges. All these different pictures going up of Wack 100. Obviously, to me, I don't think Wack 100 was a cop before. But then again, I don't know his past. You know what I mean? I don't really know his past. I didn't know Suge Knight played college football. You know, I'm like, what? Suge Knight was in college? Are you kidding me right now? Why was he getting so pissed off about somebody stealing his parking spot then? Relax, Big Suge. Whoa, Big Suge. Mad about those football dreams. Come on, man. Who would really dwell on a football dream while they were recording with Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre? Why are you going to dwell on a football dream when you're recording with billionaires in the game? You know what I mean? But a lot of people just don't see it. You know what I mean? A lot of people just don't see it. Like when Eazy-E had Dr. Dre and Ice Cube right in front of him, he just didn't see it. Suge Knight had Pac, Dre as a partner, and Snoop Dogg right all in front of him. The Dog Pound, everything was going off. Michelet was going off. Everything they were doing was hitting. And he just pissed it all away through, odd acts of violence. You know what I mean? Like getting ultimately upset at somebody taking your parking spot. You know what I mean? Embarrassing people, you know what I mean, in front of others to make yourself look better. We've seen all the different acts that were, portrayed in the film. So Jay Prince is like, uh, Larry is qualified to get some justice with the First Step Act. That's where interference came into play with Officer Rat 100. And this is where I believe Wack 100 ultimately took great disrespect to what Gillie Da Kid is doing. Having somebody come on his platform that actually disses him. Having somebody come on the platform that actually disses him and makes him look bad. I need everybody to share this video. But we were talking about this last night. If Gillie was just going to censor everybody that came on his show, Gillie would have censored the hell out of Wack 100 when he was there with Blueface. All the disrespectful stuff Wack 100 was saying about Gillie would have been cut out of the show. It would have been left on the editing room floor if Gillie was that type of person. Gillie and Wallo are running this show right now, and they're not going to delete stuff like that and come off as fake. That's what I'm looking at from the outside looking in. They're not going to jeopardize what they have going on just to cut a little something out. They're not going to do it when it makes them look bad, and they're not going to do it when another artist is dissing someone else. Simple as that. You don't censor your guests. You know what I mean? Unless it's something totally absurd, maybe. But if Wack 100 and Jay Prince are going at it all over the internet, which they were, like I said a little bit earlier, Wack 100 had the edge. Wack 100 had the edge on Jay Prince because of the fact that Jay Prince didn't start going out to all of the major brands. You know what I mean? He didn't start going out to all the major brands and really reaching out to people. So Jay Prince is like, a lot of interference came into play with Officer Rat 100 because of what he done. And this has to be talked about because we are on $1 million worth of game. And I have to give game to the youth because I don't want them getting into no crosses where there's Officer Rat 100 is concerned, because he is a lying rat. Can you guys believe that? I'm going to put the poll up, man. I'm going to put the poll up, y'all. Do you think Gillie knew Jay Prince was going to diss Wack 100? That's the poll. Do you think Gillie Da Kid knew Jay Prince was going to diss Wack 100? A lot of people are looking. Salute to Connecticut. I see you in the building. A lot of people are saying right now, you guys, they're like, yo, Gillie knew what he was doing having Wack 100's adversary on the show. A lot of people out there, Twiz believes it as well. My guy Twiz he did a video where he said Gillie Da Kid and Wallo checkmate Wack 100. Gillie Da Kid had Jay Prince. Gillie and Wallo had Jay Prince on their show, and Jay Prince exposed Wack 100 as a lying rat. Wack 100 took the ultimate disrespect to this. Appreciate everybody tapping back in the live tonight. I think right here is what ended things for Wack 100. But last night we were talking about the interview with Blueface, all the disrespect. I think that's where it started for Gillie. But tonight, when Jay Prince got onto went onto Wack 100, when he was on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast, it was a wrap. Wack 100 knew that interview was going to get all the syndication it needed. It's going to get all the syndication it needed. Hey, what happens? Hey, what happens when Jay Prince goes to Drink Champs? What happens when N.O.R.E brings Jay Prince on Drink Champs and he tells his story there? Because Jay Prince isn't going to stop. He's not going to stop spitting this knowledge. Wack 100 stabbed Jay Prince in the back. He did it for a bag. He did it for a partnership agreement, sure. You know what I mean? Like they all said, he went from being a middleman. Larry Hoover Jr. says Wack 100 went from being a middleman to being a partner within that content, a partnering owner of the content. Let me tell you, that shit happens every day. There's nothing new to that. When you meet somebody who starts to manage you, tell them about a project you're working on, they start to instantly see how much interest there could be in that project. Jay Prince said a lot of interference came into play with Officer Rat 100 because of what he done. And this has to be talked about because we are on $1 million worth of game. And I have to give the game to the youth because I don't want them getting into no crosses where this Officer Rat 100 is concerned. Because he is a lying rat. Jay Prince went on. He even thought he tried to deceive and put out text messages in a form where we was talking apples and he want to switch it up and say we talking oranges. But I got proof and I'm going to show y'all the real text messages he does not want the people to see. And in just a little bit, we're going to go over text messages between Kanye West and Wack 100, actually, you guys. Jay Prince explained what he did. What Wack 100 did. Let's get to the nitty-gritty of this. Why the hell is Jay Prince mad at Wack? First, it's Hassan exposing Wack for saying everything under the sun about people that we would have thought would have been his friend, right? He dissed everybody that he had an alliance with. What's going on with Larry Hoover now? Share this video if you support the channel, man. Share this video with at least one of your friends if you want to see Mikey T, the movie star, take this shit to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Let's get with the next young lit blogger right here. Let's go, you guys. Let's go. So, Jay Prince explained what he did. What this brother that call himself real attempted to do and play with, he attempted to play with the old man. We call him the old man. I call him my brother, my friend. But most of all, he tried to play with his freedom because on 2 occasions, this lady was entrusted to go in and interview Larry Hoover with an understanding of bringing this back to the family. We're not clearing a way for you to do this for no other reason. We don't play like that, but that's what she done. She went and ran off with the interview. What Jay Prince says there, we are not giving you this. We're not clearing a way for you to do this for no other reason. We're not giving you the opportunity to go and interview Larry Hoover so you can come out of it and start a reality show, so you can come out of it and start a Lifetime documentary, so you can come out of it and sell your own television show. We're going to give you the opportunity to interview Larry Hoover. We're going to remain in control of all the documented stuff that you get, all the documentation that you get. We're going to remain in control. When that is put out to the public, you will be credited. That's how this stuff usually works. If somebody gives you an opportunity to do something, you got to follow their games. It doesn't seem to me like somebody would say, hey, go interview Larry Hoover back in 1997 and do absolutely nothing with the footage. Do absolutely nothing with the footage. Larry Hoover Jr. is going to go on to say that she really didn't pop up talking about this footage until all of the commotion that was created by Kanye West and Drizzy, by Drake and Ye doing the concert. Then all the speculation is back up. Then the budgets are opening, right? Now that whoever did the show, who did the show? Was it Hulu or something, you guys? I don't want to misspeak. I believe it was Hulu that actually did the Kanye West and Drake joint. So Jay Prince explained what he did. So the brother that called himself Real, what he attempted to do and play with the old man, Larry Hoover, we call him the old man, and I call him my brother, my friend. But most of all, with his freedom, because on 2 occasions, this lady was entrusted to go in and interview Larry Hoover with an understanding of bringing this back to the family. We're not clearing a way for you to do this for no other reasons. For no other reasons. We don't play like that. But that's what she done. She went in an interview. She went on an interview. Okay, Amazon Prime was the concert. Yeah, I thought it was one of those. And ran off. Jay Prince said, what this dude has chosen to do is take a stand with a person like this. When they was putting together this pardon for Larry a few years ago, I'll let him tell the story. He's talking about Larry Hoover Jr. I'll let him tell the story, but I'm feeling so good about it. So she wouldn't give the footage for the pardon. This is him being free. When you're trying to humanize a person and you use footage and you use their own words to help. So it was about the money with her. With most people, it usually is about the money. When they go in and they take their time to do something multiple times, it usually is about the money. When people spend their own hard-earned money to travel, to put gas in their tank, to pay for tapes, to pay for video equipment, they usually do expect something in return from it, especially if you're working with somebody that's known worldwide. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're working with somebody who has quite a bit of clout, you will expect to get paid from it. You know what I mean? But it seems just a little bit absurd to me that they didn't get a few of these videos, actually to Larry Hoover's team in order to, as as Jay Prince is going to go on to say, in order to humanize him. You know, that I totally agree with. You know what I mean? But I just want to see things from both sides of the fence. You know what I'm saying? Present arguments from both sides of the fence. So Larry Hoover Jr. came in and said, when we were trying to put the pardon together, we were trying to get information on my father. She had actual footage of him. We asked the attorneys, would this be good to have the footage to put on this pardon? They're like, yeah, that would be good. Let's see if we can try to do that. We tried some numbers, and I called her and I asked her. So we tried some numbers. At first I was thinking, um, like money. I'm thinking he's thinking they tried some money wise, but he obviously means we tried some numbers to actually call. And I called her and I asked, we need some of that footage because we're trying to put this pardon together. She told me, she said, who's going to get paid for this and how am I going to get paid for this? I'm like, wow, this is about my father's freedom. So the first thing that she was asked, or the first thing that she was asking them when they asked about some of the footage that she owned, the first thing she said is, how am I going to get paid for it? And I'm just reading into it a little bit. Somebody calls you up and says, hey, we need that footage because it really makes that person look good in court. What do you mean it makes them look good in court? How am I going to get paid if footage is just going to be used in court? It's not like it's a major movie company calling. It's not like it's a major television company. It's not like it's Drink Champs and N.O.R.E calling for the footage. But we're going to keep going with this because Kanye West does eventually get in contact about this. What's up, Lily? Appreciate you tapping in for a moment at work. Appreciate that. Everybody voting that poll right now. A lot of people are talking. And if the internet's talking about it, I'm going to come on here and talk about it, man. People are saying that Gillie basically exposed Wack 100 by having J Prince on the show. That's what the streets is saying. The 48 laws of power, the art of war. Gillie didn't even have to move nothing. Gillie didn't have to do shit. All Gillie had to do was do something that progressed and furthered his own brand. These are some of the you know what I mean? These are some of the biggest pillars when it comes to the art of war. This man is earning while competing. This man is literally burying an old foe while building up a new building. What Gillie is doing right now is the smartest way. It's the smartest way you can ever handle beef. It's the smartest way you could ever handle beef, the way Gillie is going about this. I really didn't look at it like that. What up, what up, what up, my guy? Is that ABG? What up, what up? That's my brother, Lil Bari, I believe. That's you, Lil Bari? My G is doing his thing right now. Appreciate you, Angel. That's my guy right there. He said, I think J Prince gave Gillie and Wallo a heads up about what he was going to say. Yeah, and like I said, man, I don't think Gillie and Wallo would ever censor one of their guests. I don't think they would ever censor one of their guests. Shout out to my brother, Lil Bari. That dude is doing his thing. I actually linked up with him in Jersey. Always showed me the utmost love. What up, Ma? What's up, Ma? What up, Hamil? What's up, guys? Appreciate y'all for tapping in tonight. Appreciate y'all for tapping in tonight. Let me know what y'all think in the poll. Do you think that Gillie knew J Prince was going to diss Wack 100? In all honesty, they did not prolong the Wack 100 diss conversation. They did not jump into the conversation aside from a few hymns and a few laughs and a few huhs. Exactly, Duke. Why would they stop him? Why are you going to stop your guest from saying what he's saying? You don't do that. That's going to ruin your episode. Gillie, what is the saying, you guys? Gillie killed two birds with one stone last night, or when he did this podcast with J Prince. He killed two birds with one stone because he got another video with 1 million+ views on it, and plus he inadvertently answered all the questions. Gillie, why aren't you responding to Wack? Gillie, why aren't you responding to Wack? Why won't you say anything to Wack, Gillie? He just did it more appropriately than could ever be done. I see it now. I see it now. I heard Twiz talking about it on his channel. I've seen a couple other people talking about it. So, Larry Hoover Jr. is like, this is about my father's freedom. And you want to know what's going to get paid or who's going to get paid for this footage? I don't know if she feels like she was really caring about our family, but she wanted to know who was going to get paid while we was trying to get this package together for this pardon. Moving forward, that's about the time that Kanye went to the White House. She's seen it was a buzz and my family's name was fresh in people's head. Kanye reached out to her to try and get the footage from her, and somehow Wack ended up in the mix. So Kanye West reaches out to this woman, tries to get the footage. Kanye West reaches out to you. Why are you trying to involve a third party? Why are you trying to involve a third party to get 10 or 20% taken away from you? Now, if you're going to say, Kanye, give me $100,000 and I'm cashed out, that's one thing. But if Wack's going to come into the equation and say, hey, listen, your footage isn't worth 100,000. Your footage is worth $1 million. Your footage is worth 800,000 and I'm going to take 20%. Don't let anybody talk you into buying that footage for no $20,000. Don't let anybody talk you into buying that footage for no $50,000. Don't let somebody say they're going to buy you a house. When we're done with this footage, you're going to have enough money to buy a house, and then you're still going to have $250,000 left over to live in the house. So the business, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that, like what Larry Hoover Jr. is saying, at first, Wack was seeming like a middleman, but now he's in there as a partner. And it doesn't seem as foreign to me. You know what I mean? Because Wack is in there. He's building with the woman. She's seeing how much of an asset Wack 100 could be. And she's like, you know what? If I give you an interest, if I give you an interest in this project, it's going to make you more invested. It's going to make you want to go out there and find me, never mind a $1 million deal. It's going to make you want to go out there and find me a $2 million deal. It's going to make you go out there and bring me back that $1.7 million deal. Then Wack can take his little 20%. And she's going to come off with a whole lot of extra cake. When dudes is offering her $20,000, oh no, we're going to get $20,000 about 15, 20, you know what I mean? We're going to get $20,000 about 40, 50 times over. So Larry Hoover Jr. said, Kanye reached out to her to try and get the footage from her, and somehow Wack ended up in the mix. Larry Hoover Jr. went on, Wack was bargaining. He was the middleman with the footage first. He was the middleman for her because she didn't want to speak to us. The next thing you know, he's a partner in the whole situation. This is his footage. He got it, and blah, blah, blah. Yes, that's kind of how it works sometimes. When somebody that is someone has a bigger notoriety than you comes and gets involved with your project, he's usually going to take on a percentage of it. And he's usually going to come on to make that project even bigger. You know what I mean? He's usually going to come on to make that project an even bigger thing. So that's not all the way foreign to me. You know, Wack just took an opportunity, just like he saw with 6ix9ine. You know what I mean? He took an opportunity just like he saw with 6ix9ine. If there's some paper there, I want in on it. I mean, Wack probably wasn't really getting in on too much other paper. He wasn't getting in on too much other paper. I mean, we saw other projects fail, like Stitches. We never saw a follow-up project for Ray J's album that featured the Young Berg single that sold 250,000 first week. We never saw much with the game other than the E1 projects. You know? So let me see here. So Jay Prince chimed back in. He said, what this clown done, head up, we right here. He's with somebody else. He's with somebody else that he portrayed to be. Oh, I'm down with y'all. So Jay Prince is giving us the basically how he met Wack 100. Wack 100 approached Jay Prince like, I'm down with y'all. That's the only reason I wanted to talk to him. I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt for my brother. Jay Prince is saying he met with Wack 100 because he wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt for his brother. Because this is serious business. I embrace that. In retrospect, when I hear him take a different position, like he was partners with her the whole time, I'm like, oh, he's one of those kinds of dudes where all the money is good money. I'm from the school where everybody don't go. Some real words right here from Jay Prince, you guys. All of this featured on Gillie's $1 Million Worth the Game show. Gillie got a little bit more than I think he bargained for on this one, you guys. Gillie got a little bit more than I think he bargained for. You know, I think I've interviewed Gillie in the past, and he spoke about the fact that, you know what I mean? He actually spoke on how much respect he's had for Jay Prince. Like, he spoke on that in my interviews, but I don't think he ever expected this to happen. I don't think he ever expected this shit to happen in regard to Jay Prince just completely going off. Jay Prince kind of took Gillie's beef in his hand and just cooked the shit. All like Jay Prince said, he'll take all the smoke. Speaking of all the smoke, let me get a little smoke, little intermission right here. Y'all want to know what I'm smoking on? Where's my container? Appreciate everybody for tapping in tonight. Andy Moore says Jay Prince has always been consistent on his word. Facts. Jay Prince is a real one. Jay Prince actually, came between two different issues in hip hop that I know about. He came between Meek Mill and Drake. You guys, before that turned into something that didn't need to be. We're talking about two guys who had a lot of respect with each other. We're talking about Drake, who jumped on Meek Mill's debut album, you know what I mean, and showed him the love because he found him to be talented. That's when you know a real one. Look what Drake does, jumping on Jack Harlow records and shit like that. He's doing some real shit. What's everyone smoking, though? I'm smoking this good Runts, man. This shit keeps me lit for the shows. Can't wait till we get that weed sponsor, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to be smoking that gas. My dude Scott Storch has a whole new pod thing, Hits by Scott Storch. I want to get on those too. So Prince is like, this is serious business. I embrace that. In retrospect, when I hear him take a different position, like he was partners with her the whole time, I'm like, oh, he's one of those kinds of dudes where all money is good money. I'm from the school where everybody don't go. Now, Jay Prince is like, this dude just wants a couple $100,000 bad. He'll be cool with that, and he doesn't really care who he offends at the end of the day. Why would he care? Why would Wack 100 care who he offends at the end of the day, you guys? Why would he care? He's making money. He's making money. You know what I'm saying? He's making money than he ever made before. More money than he ever made before. So why would he give a damn about somebody disrespecting him, about someone losing love for him? Oh, 21 Savage don't got no love for me? Guess what? 21 Savage didn't have no love for me 5 years ago either, when nobody knew who I was. That's how Wack 100 is feeling right now, in my opinion. So Jay Prince is like, I take that real personal. I stand for the culture. I love the hip hop culture. I put in a lot of work. When I seen one trying to shit on Tupac, when I seen him trying to shit on Tupac, trying to shit on Nipsey, trying to shit on Big U, trying to shit on Master P, Meek Mill. I see a dude get on a podcast with another rat and go off on 21 Savage. I'm like, oh, This guy got diarrhea out the mouth. This is how he's going to go and try to change the narratives about the truth. What be real cold about it is some people get lost along the way and they will just roll off a cliff. Yeah, I guess right now, Jay Prince, in saying that, he was kind of saying Wack 100 was on the right track. Wack 100 was making his way up from being known as a manager. You know what I'm saying? We saw what he did with K Slay. He was on K Slay's show a few times. Rest in peace, K Slay. We saw what he had started doing with the artist and shit like that. And now we saw him make his way to being actually more popular than the artist that he's managing. When the artist manager becomes more popular than the actual artist, you know you've got something. Look at what happened with Treyway Shotty. You know what I mean? Treyway Shotty got put in a position where he could have started a label and he could have put 3 or 4 different artists on. I was actually commending that. When you've got an artist that blows up and he could put on somebody that could go on to run a record label, then you've put on a real breadwinner, you guys. Then you put on somebody who's really going to go out there and make that cheese. When we look at G Unit, 50 didn't have any artists that actually went out to start record labels. Who was the last artist that put out somebody who would go on to start a major record label, you guys? Definitely appreciate everybody tapping in tonight. So, Officer Rat 100. Some people get lost along the way and they will roll off a cliff. Like Officer Rat 100. I don't like this shit. I'm going to calm down. Jay Prince said, I don't like this shit. I'm going to calm down. I hope the people feel me. Do y'all feel Jay Prince? Jay Prince hopes the people feel him. Jay Prince hopes the people feel him. He hopes the people understand what he is coming out here to say to everyone. You know what I mean? He's trying to spread a message. He's trying to spread a message right now, you guys. If you want to promote your channel, send in a super chat and I'll post it up in the pin section. Just so you guys know, if anybody wants to promote any music content, if anybody wants to promote their YouTube channel, just send in a super chat and I'll literally pin the shit up. LaShawn says, all money ain't good money. Yeah, you know, but some of these guys, they're not really accustomed to making hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're not really accustomed to making that much bread. So in all honesty, they're going to take it when they can get it. So Jay Prince is like, I hope the people feel me. I don't believe in using a rat. Some people call them punks. Jay Prince is like, I could say a whole lot of other things. Jay Prince then said, and just for the record, I want all that smoke. Just for the record, I want all that smoke. I know how to put that out. I know how to put all that out. Jay Prince says he wants all the smoke. He knows how to put it out. Larry Hoover Jr. said, the bottom line is the stuff was taken from us, and he's partnered with the lady to act like it was his to sell it. They act like it was his to sell it back to you when it was ours in the first place. And he act like he's a street dude and he respects my old man. and respects everything. And respects everything, who is a real dude. Who is a real dude? How is a real dude going to partner up with a chick that stole something to go in front of the whole world like he got the right, and then go in front of the whole world like he got the right to do it? He's putting people in a bad position. He's putting people in bad positions out there. And there's people who are real upset about that. He keeps jumping out in the deep water. You know, when he's talking about people out there being upset about it. Couple people I could think of off top would have to be Kanye West and Drake. Kanye West, who literally just recorded on Game's new album, if it even makes it. If Easy even makes it on Drillmatic. We'll have to wait and see if Easy is actually featured on Drillmatic, you guys. That's a big question for me right now. Then you've got Drake, who actually gave the Game a lead single for, what was it, the documentary too? Was it 100? He gave him his single pretty much that helped boost him up on the sales. And you're telling me that you're going to basically hold the Larry Hoover footage hostage when these guys have put aside all of their major issues that the whole world, never mind those 5 million people that bought Game's album, the whole world was focused in on Drake and Kanye West beef, a bigger beef than Drake versus Chris Brown even. And this beef came to an end over a mutual respect, you guys, for Larry Hoover. And what does Wack 100 do? He tries to use the relationship with Kanye West to his advantage. As soon as Kanye West tells him he wants to involve Jay Prince, snip, snip, snip. Dude could have been working on a project about Larry Hoover with Kanye West, and he flushed it down the toilet. He flushed it down the toilet because he wanted to take a price cut from 150,000 to, because he didn't want to take a price cut from 200,000 or 150,000 to 75 to 100,000. You know what? The project would have probably been a lot more if you had Kanye West actually involved in it. Let me take a smoke break on that one, man. I don't understand how somebody messes up when you got Kanye West interested in an old documentary shot about Larry Hoover from 1997. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Listen and think about all the struggles that Kanye West was going through back in like 97. You know what I mean? When he was going through all them struggles back in the late 90s into the early 2000s. Dude's throwing away major opportunities. Not to mention he featured on your damn artist album. Let me take a look at the poll. Do you think Gillie knew Jay Prince was going to diss Wack 100? 60% of you guys say yes. 60% of the people in the chat tonight say yes, they knew. Yes, you knew that Gillie the Kid, yes, Gillie, not you, excuse me, but yes, you knew that Gillie knew that Jay Prince was going to go at Wack 100. To me, they seemed a little shocked. To me, they kind of seemed like they didn't know where to go with it. Wallo was ready to go on to the next question about death row. Gillie wasn't going to back down from reading the text messages from Kanye West. You know what I mean? But it didn't seem like they had anything written up in their notes, because I do believe they do a little bit of notes for the show. It didn't seem like they had anything written up in their notes to go from there. Because if they did, that was obviously an opening point where they could have asked whatever they wanted to legitimately embarrass him. But they didn't even need to do that. Jay Prince did it all on his own. Jay Prince took Gillie Da Kid's problems and he handled them for Gillie. Pretty much. He didn't need, Gillie didn't need to go on a whole spaz effort. You know what I mean? He didn't need to spaz out for 35 minutes on his podcast. Jay Prince handled it in about 4 minutes. Handled that shit in about 4 minutes, you guys. So Jay Prince is like, I got to share this before we move on. I've got to share this. This is Kanye. And Jay Prince hands his phone to Gillie Da Kid. And Jay Prince said, I know Ye ain't going to have no problem with me showing this. I want you to read this. Jay Prince said, I know Ye ain't going to have no problem with me showing you this. Wow. Kanye West, shout out to the 603. Wow. Kanye West sending you text messages, emails, whatever they are. He's not going to have a problem with you reading his messages on the internet. So this is pretty much like one of the, this is a billionaire's messages that we're reading right now. I mean, we saw what happened when Wack 100 was on his podcast and he tried to call a billionaire. You don't ever try to call a billionaire. You don't ever try to call a billionaire while you're on a podcast. Don't make yourself look like that on your show. You know what I mean? You really think that billionaire's going to pick up for you? Excuse me, guys. Let me hit Jigga up. Just give me a minute. Let me hit Jigga up on my phone and just let it ring and ring and ring until he hopefully picks up. Don't put yourself in that kind of a position, because look what happened to Wack 100 when he tried to call Birdman and put Gillie Da Kid on the spot, knowing damn well that Gillie actually met up with Birdman at King of Diamonds. I was actually there when Gillie Da Kid met up with Birdman at King of Diamonds, and they came face to face, and I filmed that shit actually. And I was filming that shit actually. It was a lit occasion, man. We was popping mad bottles. Gillie had us right out there, man. Gillie always be going Memorial Weekend. He always be going to Miami on Memorial Weekend. I need to go out there with you next year, Gil. Let's get it. So, Gillie is actually about to start reading Kanye West's text. It says, with her now, bro. Okay. This has been exhausting. Too much. So Wack must have texted him. It says, I'm with her now, bro. Okay, this has been exhausting. Too much. Prince said, this is Kanye talking to Wack 100. Gillie continues. This has been exhausting. Too much game planning. What is she looking for? Bro, tell me about it. It's not us. It's men stuff between women, bro. Then Kanye hits him back. You're with Karen, correct? Just making sure I know what you're talking about. Jay Prince is a better businessman than me. I'm stepping out of this and letting him handle it. It's too many games for me. So Wack apparently responded back. I think Wack responded back, bro, tell me about it. It's not us. It's men stuff between two women, bro. And then Kanye West hits him back. Yo, you're with Karen, correct? You're with the woman that has the footage, right? You're not just one of them guys who's happy to be texting me right now. Wack, is the next message that comes from you going to be about another record with the game? I swear, I know every time you get on the phone with me, Wack, it always leads to a damn message where you're asking me to work with the game. I know that message is coming, Wack. He's like, this is exhausting. This is exhausting because I know you're about to ask me to do another song with the game. So that's how Ye is. He's like, listen, just handle this with Jay Prince. Jay Prince is a better businessman than me. Okay. Jay Prince is a better businessman than Kanye West. Okay. Yeah, when it comes to dealing with people like this in a situation like this, I bet Jay Prince is a better businessman. But we're talking about, no disrespect to Jay Prince, we're talking about Kanye West here, a man who they didn't believe in. They didn't want to give him his own. So he had to go out there and he had to take it. He quite literally had to rip it. He had to rip it away and take it into his possession, you guys. I got a lot of respect for what Kanye did, the way that he changed, the way that he shifted the culture and everything that we do, man. So Kanye is like, it's too many games for me. Prince goes, if you want to keep on going, keep on going. You can keep on going. But clearly, they was trying to work some shit on him that he wasn't in agreement with. So this is how I get in the mix. I mean, I don't know about them trying to work some shit on Kanye West, but it just kind of like, Kanye he's not trying to have a conversation with somebody beating around the bush. You know what I mean? Kanye West does not want to beat around the bush with somebody. He asked the question, what does she want? This is the opportunity for you to say $300,000. This is the opportunity for you to say $350,000 if you want to get yourself an extra 10 grand. You know what I mean? Kanye West gave you that opportunity. All right, that sounds good to me. We'll have that money put over in a wire, and then you split it how you're going to split it. So Prince is like, if you want to keep on going, you can keep on going. But clearly, they was trying to work some shit on him that he wasn't in agreement with. So this is how I get in the mix, because he says there's too many games playing. Why you want to play games around the old man's freedom? Why the game playing? So I come in the loop to try and bring some real accommodation to the situation, But we don't got to stay on that no longer. I'm going to end up letting everybody see all of that shit, because that shit he sent out there is a bunch of bootleg shit where he changed the whole narrative. But this is the whole route. Too much game playing. Now, Wallo asked how Jay Prince got so much respect in Cali. And you just had to know, that with the talk about respect in Cali, oh, damn it, it's all good. But with the talk about respect in Cali, that Wack 100 would come into play again, right? You just had to know it. So let's hear yet another shot at Wack 100 from Jay Prince on Gillie and Wallo's podcast. And that's why everybody is saying, Gillie got the knockout blow. Gillie got the knockout blow on Wack 100 by having Jay Prince come on his show and expose him. Jay Prince literally gave Wack 100 a brand new name. Jay Prince gave Wack 100 a brand new name on $1 Million Worth of Game. Officer Rat 100. And this is why Wack 100 is ultimately mad. I need everybody in here to hit that like button. I need everybody to share this video with at least one friend. Get one of your friends in the chat here with you, man. My chat is the best community for hip-hop questions and conversation. And I want to send out a challenge to Wiz Khalifa to come on the show, and I'm going to smoke Wiz under the table. This is an official challenge to Wiz Khalifa. I'm going to smoke you under the table, Wiz. I got you, Wiz. Let's go. Let's see what's up with it, Wiz. Let's see if you can hang. Let's see the biggest blogger versus the biggest smoker in the game. Let's do it. So, Jay Prince, getting back to what Jay Prince said, you guys. Well, I believe the real respect the real. Wallo asked Jay Prince, how did you get so much respect in Cali? And yeah, we're gonna get another shot at Wack 100 here, you guys. Was it a specifically triggered question? Was this question put in there perfectly? I kind of feel like it was, but that's just because I've been doing interviews for so many years. You kind of know where to go with things to keep that shit rolling. You know what I mean? Share this video, everybody. Appreciate y'all up in here, man. Hit that like button as well, man. We're taking this shit to the top, man. Prince said, I believe the real respect the real all over. The real respect the real all over. When you really see it and tap into it, if I see a real dude and he's on the moon and I see the realness, I'm going to respect it. I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to salute it. I'm going to respect it. And they are on the move to keep, I'm going to respect it. They are on the move to keep people locked up. This is what Officer Rat 100 is doing. A dude locked up and he's working to keep him locked up. And someone who's free, he's working to get them locked up. Cali, I've been playing out there a long time. I got a lot of groups I put out in Cali. Rolling 60s homies, jungle. I rode by myself through all these hoods. I was solo, building relationships. You know, things grew from there. Things grew from there. I let them know. I ain't hating on your red. I ain't hating on your blue. I'm green. Gillie's like, that's their flag. That's the flag I'm waving. Money green. Good to see that the respect level is there, man. Dope to hear about how Jay Prince came up in the game early as well. You know what I mean? Hearing different parts of his character, different parts of his career. That's really what $1 million worth of game is for, and that's what I think one of the main reasons that they had Jay Prince on the show. It just so happened that in the last few weeks, as all that tension was boiling over about Wack 100 saying he had all the podcasters on squeeze, he had all the podcasters on blast, there was another little rivalry that was bubbling up. And that was over Larry Hoover with Jay Prince and Wack 100. That whole thing was bubbling up, and it came right after the whole Hassan shit. This whole thing, Hassan had some shit to say about it. He was not happy about it at all because he felt like they totally ignored him in the whole situation. He legitimately felt like they ignored him in the whole situation and played him out like he had nothing to do with it, you guys. So let's see. So Hassan was actually like, how are they going to start a war and leave me out of it? Hassan's like, I like how all this beef with Wack and Jay Prince and all the rest of that, everything started with Hassan Campbell, but they're trying to push me out and act like I don't exist. It's a lot going on. Hassan Campbell basically saying that he started this whole rivalry, man. He's basically saying he started this whole rivalry with Jay Prince, Wack 100. He said because of the fact that he had those audio tapes recorded, he had audio recorded of Wack 100 dissing everybody in the industry that you would have never thought he would have dissed. Cali legends, people he was really working with, to really build his own career, like Academics and Gillie and all them guys that were giving him the alley-oop so he could really make a career for himself. These are people that I didn't think we would hear him diss. I mean, we all know he gets in arguments with everybody and their brother. He argues with everybody, but that's Clubhouse. But I didn't think we'd hear him dissing all these guys. I didn't think we'd hear Wack 100 going against the guys who are basically paving the way for him. And they're doing it like they don't do it for anybody else. They're appearing on his shows. They're making his shows more legitimate. They're having him appear on their shows in times when he really shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? That should have been Hassan Campbell's interview with 6ix9ine in Academics. It should not have included Wack as well. That should have been Blueface's interview that we went over last night on $1 Million Worth of Game. It should not have included Wack. Wack has been on $1 Million Worth of Game. That's just a part of the point I was trying to prove, you guys. The fact of the matter is Wack 100 has taken on more of an interest level than some of his artists. It's evident. You know what I mean? Sometimes the manager gets more popular than the artist. I'm about to finish up this L right here. So, getting back to it though, Jay Prince did all types of interviews dissing Wack 100, y'all. It wasn't just Gillie's show he went on. Jay Prince also said, it's no secret that I, along with the Hoover family lawyers and friends, are fighting hard for Larry Hoover's freedom, and that's the first step that the law says he deserves. Meanwhile, this dude, Wack 100, has taken the position to work against the Hoover family by trying to monetize off his name and withhold footage that could contribute to his freedom. So that's the major thing about this that Jay Prince is really throwing out there. Wack 100 made one outrageous claim about Jay Prince should know not to go on this verbal warfare all throughout all the blogs. He should know not to do it because of the fact that it's making Larry Hoover's chances less likely of getting out. That's what Wack 100 is trying to respin and send it back at him. Well, Jay Prince's argument has always been the same. He's always been the same. They're withholding footage that could contribute to his freedom. Jay Prince went on. He said, so if it's one thing this Wack dude is telling the truth about, it's that I don't mess with him. When I was in LA talking to this lying-ass guy, never once did he take the position that he was partners in the theft of the Hoover families, like he's doing on that rehearsed conversation with the clowns. Now, what he's not trying to tell the truth is why. So yeah, again, Jay Prince bringing up the fact that he met up with Wack 100. He's bringing up the fact that he met up with Wack 100, and Wack 100 was pretty much repping for him. You know what I mean? He was not telling him that he was a part owner of the footage at that point in time. But at that point in time, he probably wasn't part owner of the footage. You know what I mean? At that point in time, he more than likely was not a part owner of the footage. At that point in time, he really was probably just the mediator. This woman probably saw that Wack 100 was holding his own in business effort, and she was like, listen, I want you to rock with me on some real shit. I think mostly anybody that rocks with Wack 100 would see that his business moves are kind of crazy, and you would want him to try and implement some good business moves for you. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Wack 100 makes better move for his artist than he makes for himself. You know what I mean? He honestly makes better moves for his artist than he does for himself. That narrative might be changing though. That narrative might be changing because I'm kind of just wondering like where's all the promotion for Drillmatic? You know what I mean? I'm kind of wondering like where is all the promotion for Drillmatic? So let's see here. So if it's one thing this whack dude is telling the truth about is that I don't mess with him. So Jay Prince went on. Wack said, or Jay Prince said this: I've been around a long time, and I know when someone is trying to set me up with police conversations. So I won't lip wrestle with you on Clubhouse. But I'll tell you what I don't know. If you were violated on the block or what, but all this snake shit, this jealousy and hate shit you have in your heart, bring that to Dr. Prince, and I'm going to give you the cure of that. Wow. So Jay Prince had a message. Let me send a message to the homies in LA. This was Jay Prince's message to the homies in LA, and then we're going to get into Wack 100's response. Let me send a message to the homies in LA and around the world. All money is not good money. All money is not good money. And a dude that would kiss a rat in the mouth for any amount of money is capable of anything. Like sending you on a mission to laugh at you. Read the wisdom between the lines. And don't follow this clown. Wack responded to this. Wack was asked if he heard the audio of Jay Prince dissing him. Wack is like, Jay Prince, what did he say? What is he mad about? What did he say? What is he mad about? Wack was told everything that he said about the contract being a lie. They were saying that the woman took the footage from the interview and forged the info as far as using the likeness. So Wack is like, let me get this right. So the lady who went to the president of the United States, this is what Wack said, the president of the United States, this was one of the first times he spoke on it. He didn't keep on saying the president of the United States, just to be real with you in future interviews, but he said it in this one. So let me get this right. The lady who went to the president of the United States to get clearance to get into the penitentiary or to get into the penitentiary with cameras, you shouldn't have did this, Jay, because you weren't a part of it back then. Now I gotta flame you up. So, all right, so Wack 100 is about to flame Jay Prince up. Wack, okay, Hassan Campbell is saying though that Wack 100 had to make these moves. Hassan Campbell is trying to say that Wack 100 had to make these moves because he had audio on him. That doesn't make sense either. You think Jay Prince is waiting on Hassan Campbell's audio to drop? All due respect, Hassan, but Jay Prince knows what's going on. He knows he's being duped for footage by Wack 100 over Larry Hoover. He doesn't need your audio to come out in order to, make the thoughts in his mind right. You know what I mean? He doesn't need your audio to come out to stamp the thoughts in his mind. He already knows that Wack 100 is now gone on as a partner, and now they want to freaking make this the footage worth 50 times more than they thought it was ever going to be worth, just because Wack 100 is attached to it. Totally, it's totally a different situation right there. So Wack went on. Who else do you think? Who else do you think when you sitting in the pen and the cameras is coming in to have to sign off by saying, I'm okay with being recorded? Before they bring him out, if not, the pen is liable. What are you talking about? So Wack is saying that also Larry Hoover had to sign off on the fact that he was doing an interview as well, which I'm sure is right. The jail's got to sign off. The person giving away the interview is going to sign off, so his likeness is able to be used. That's what Wack 100 is saying here. As we heard Jay Prince say, though, Jay Prince said the interviewer was sent there to do the interview on behalf of the family. So I don't know why they would even have that contract and that paperwork. You would think it would be faxed over to the family. So he said the thing you got right is that you don't mess with them. Wack explained that. Well, you know, I got all the text messages. It ain't my fault that I gave you some snippets and you never gave it to his son. What? I got on the phone with his son, but when I saw you face to face, you was real nice. Rocky was there. You was real nice. Wack was told he said you were a liar. Wack said he ain't never seen the footage. But I'm more caught up right now because Larry Hoover Jr. says, Larry Hoover Jr. contends, you guys, that they never got snippets. They never got little pieces of audio to give to the attorneys to present for the pardon. Wack 100 is here saying he sent snippets. It ain't my fault. He said, I got all the text messages. It ain't my fault that I gave you some snippets and you never gave it to his son. Wack 100 says he gave the snippets. Why wouldn't Wack give the snippets? He would want to help. Larry Hoover outside the pen makes their footage worth more, especially if they're still in the equation, which if Wack 100 was, he would be. You damn sure you damn Skippy Wack 100 would make himself a part of the equation if Larry Hoover would have gotten out and he was a part of it. So yeah, that's a crazy line right there because this is one of Wack's first responses. So Wack was said they called him a liar. Wack said they never seen the footage. Wack said, what do you mean she was hired to get the footage? Wack is like, you are not recording nobody in a prison without signing off your content. Straight up ain't happening. Any of that at that point in time makes the prison liable. You know what's crazy? I gave him the contract. What day this was? Because I got all of our text. Wack said, nobody is worried about that. You a little bitty dude. You're not going to do nothing. Your son been robbed 8 times in LA. You ain't did shit. Wack said, I don't know no industry stories. What industry stories, though? What are they? The nicer version of Suge. They say he's a nicer version of Suge. Wack is like, get out of here. We ain't going to talk about no nicer version of Suge. We ain't never jumped out of cars and we ain't never jumped out of cars in Las Vegas Boulevard. Wack said, this is what's crazy. I just put him on the phone with the lady and he offered 20,000. She said, what do you mean you're going to give me 20,000? Stop acting like you don't know what's going on. Look, November 21st. What's up with the lady's price? Then it was brought up how he said, if you'll need some curing, come to Dr. Prince. Wack replied, this is where the dude is getting it wrong. I just got a call yesterday that Larry Hoover's wife wanted to talk to me direct. November 21st. What's up with the latest price? What he told me. I said I'll meet with her Tuesday. I'm on the right side of the track. I stand with Ye. November 22nd. And this is what I keep telling this weirdo. Hey, I just spoke with and she has a contract where the old man signed his rights to her before the contract. You have to, so let's figure out a fee for the footage. Okay, boom, boom. But then the whole I stand with Ye thing. Of course, you're going to stand. Okay, that's good. That's good that he's saying he stands with Ye because, like I said, Ye being a part of the footage makes the footage worth even more as well. Share this video, y'all. I need y'all to hit that like button right now. Hit that like button right now. I'll get back to the video when y'all, I want 100 likes on this video. We got 57 likes. We got 157 people in the building. Let's get 100 likes and I'll get back to the video. I'm about to smoke until y'all hit that like button. Smoking. So, Wack went on. Wack is like, I'm fitting to screen record this shit. J Prince put it up. It's going viral. It's all of our text messages. Since I don't know what I'm talking about, hold on. Here go the one thing. Yes, Miss Hoover definitely has the contract to his life rights. This isn't his life rights. This is the footage of him recorded in a prison. It's not his life rights. We don't have his life rights. Understand? You understand? Because after you said this, like, that's one point that Wack is trying to make. This is not his life rights. We're not trying to put out his biography. We understand that. They're trying to do something totally different. They're not trying to say they own his life rights. People are kind of making this interview out to be bigger than it really is. You know, until Wack 100 makes the proper moves with it, it's not going to be much of anything. Apparently, it's been sitting since 1997, you guys. It's been sitting since 1997. And honestly, you guys, the without the proper representation, without the proper guys on it, like Wack 100, like Kanye West, like Jay Prince, it's not going to go anywhere. Like the cooperation of the whole family. That's what they really need to take this to the next level. That's what they actually need to take the shit to the next level. Hell yeah, man. So sad. Hashtag the industry. So sad. So sad. Let me check out what's going on in this poll. I'm about to end the poll. If you guys haven't voted in the poll, make sure you vote right now. So Hassan, like I said, was upset that he was left out of this. Hassan was upset that he was left out of all this. On all of the podcasts, nobody would mention his name. How are they going to start a war and leave me out of it? How are you going to start this and leave me out of it? I like how all this beef with Wack and Jay Prince and all the rest of that, everything started with Hassan Campbell, but they're trying to push me out and act like I don't even exist. They're trying to push me out and act like I don't even exist, you guys. That's Hassan Campbell's argument right now. in regard to this whole dilemma. He's upset that he hasn't been mentioned. There we go. Appreciate y'all for tapping in, whether you're late or you've been here the whole time. I appreciate y'all for being in the building tonight. Appreciate y'all for being in the building tonight. So Hassan is like, I like how all this beef with Wack, Jay Prince, all the rest of that, everyone started, and everything started with Hassan Campbell. But they're trying to push me out and act like I don't exist. It's a lot going on. Hassan is like, let me tell you about me and Wack. He sent for people to send for me on Club. I go to the clubhouse, see what he's talking about. And now FBG Duck, may he rest in peace. Me and Mama Duck ended up going at it. Wack 100 acted like he was trying to end the beef, but he is annihilating her. But he's showing respect to me. Okay, this is the dude I made videos about. I made videos about him and Game. Hassan admits that he made videos going at these dudes. He was kind of shocked that academics didn't tell him. He was kind of shocked that maybe 6ix9ine didn't tell him. Wack 100 seemed to have no idea of it. No idea of it when he actually brought him into the clubhouse and tried to vouch for him. No idea about it when he actually met him in person for the off the record podcast shoot, you know? But maybe that's not true, because after off the record film is finished recording, Wack 100 went on Clubhouse and started dissing Hassan Campbell. Listen, I want everybody on here, make sure y'all follow me on Instagram. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, all right? Everybody, I want to tell everybody that while there's a bunch of people in here, make sure y'all follow me on Instagram so you never miss the live updates of what I got going on. Oh, shit. Yep, y'all shoot me that follow on Instagram. Everybody in here. Everybody in here, shoot me that follow on Instagram. Show some love. Show some love to the channel. Hell yeah, definitely appreciate y'all. So let's get back to it here. So Hassan was like explaining the situation where everything happened with Wack 100 while bitching about the fact that nobody was mentioning him. You know, Scarface, Gillie, Drink Champs. Nobody was. Hey, dude, nobody's gonna mention you when you're talking about somebody, how somebody is dissing them. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's really gonna mention you when they're doing that. You know? So what I said about Duck's mom, me being FBG Duck's father, who I believe he was in jail Duck's whole life. FBG Duck's mom had 10 kids. I said, me as a father, hypothetically speaking, just being an emotional dad, this is where it started from. Yeah, they got into an argument about the kids and all that. I really don't like to play into that conversation much. I don't know why Hassan likes to talk about that shit so much, talking about someone who's lost some of their children and shit like that. But that's apparently the reality that he likes to talk about. I like to speak about hip hop. I know more about hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I like to speak about hip hop. I thought Hassan had like a hip hop channel, but he more so likes to talk like all about the tragedy. You know what I mean? While still putting himself in a position talking about, yo, my man just got out the feds and now we going to pop some bottles. Yet he disses Rowdy Rebel for that shit. You're gonna, I got a video coming up about that tomorrow with 10 Toes Down. You know what I'm saying? And because sometimes people got to get checked for the hypocrisy of it. You know what I mean? How you going to say one thing and do another? You know what I mean? Let's come on. Let's practice what we preach out here, man. Let's lead in the correct way. If we're going to tell people to do certain things, let's not show them other things. You know what I'm saying? Dudes is watching you. Dudes is looking at you and you using you as like a role model to the point where now you're telling them to stay out of a club in a certain situation, and now you're there popping some of the red champagne, you know what I mean? Some of that red rosé and shit like that. Come on, the message is getting misinterpreted. You know what I mean? The message is getting misunderstood right now, man. Let's change up the whole message when we're talking about that shit, man. Let's lead the youth in the right way. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole lot of different things I could say right now, but I'm not gonna say them yet. You know what I'm saying? I think everything is pretty cool out there. You know what I mean? Think everything is pretty cool out there, but y'all are gonna have to stay tuned and see what happens with Mikey T, the movie star, the most uncensored hip hop channel on the internet, y'all. Best interviews too when it comes to them hip hop interviews as well. Salute to Vancouver in the building. Much love to Vancouver in the building. So Hassan is like moving along because this is not a shot at her. This is how me and Wack came across with each other. So now Wack is on Clubhouse. Anybody got a problem with Hassan Campbell has a problem with Wack 100. Wack 100 is the true definition of an undercover brother. Jesus, I'm kind of feeling like Hassan coming into that Clubhouse, hearing Wack 100 have his back. Pause. Hearing about Wack 100 have his, you know what I mean? Have his respect in mind for him. Yo, anybody messes with Hassan, they got problems with Wack. You know what I mean? Hearing Wack 100 say that, it kind of had to make him feel good. Pause. You know what I mean? It kind of really had to make him feel a certain way because in reality, now you got a big bro type figure. You know what I mean? Now you got somebody who's really watching your back in the industry. We know how these dudes get when they get their cosigns. You know what I mean? They be feeling like they're on the top of the mountain when they get them cosigns. I mean, shit. Hassan Campbell said it himself when he did the interview, when he actually did the interview with 6ix9ine, Wack 100, and academics. He said, y'all are millionaires. Y'all are millionaires. I'm sitting here with millionaires. That shit was bugged out when I watched that, y'all. That shit was bugged out when I watched that. I'm like, really? I'm like, really? What details Jay Prince released, though, man? Jay Prince released some crazy details. He came up with a crazy nickname for Wack 100. Wack 100 had some pretty interesting facts as well. Wack 100 had some pretty interesting facts as well in regard to, you know what I mean, the life rights of the film, you know what I mean, the life rights of the film and all that, you know, countering arguments in certain ways. We're going to have to see what happens. But listen, I want to bring it to some open questions. I want to bring it to some open questions. I always do open questions on my live podcasts. I really appreciate everybody tuning in to the Mikey T, the Movie Star podcast tonight. We're doing some open questions right now. Y'all can send in open questions. I want everybody on here to follow me as well. Anybody has any open questions, this is your time to ask. Also, I'm going to pin up my IG so everybody can follow me on the gram. That's right. I want you guys to follow me on the gram so you can stay up on my live videos and shit. Do you guys think that Gillie knew Jay Prince was going to diss Wack 100? I'm going to close out the voting in a minute, you guys. I want everybody to get your last votes in. If you haven't voted in the poll, do you think Gillie knew Jay Prince was going to diss Wack 100? 65% of the people say yes. 35% of the people say no. This is your last opportunity to get in on the polling. This is your last opportunity to get in on the polling, you guys. Everybody that wants to vote on the poll tonight, you can. All right, it's 65%. Say yes. I'm going to end the poll at that note. It looks like an overwhelming percentage of you guys believe that Gillie actually knew. Gillie actually knew that Jay Prince was going to come in there and diss. You know what I mean? Seagraph, I don't know much about that, but I'll look into it. I'll take a look into that information right there you're talking about, Seagraph. I don't really know too much about it, but I will take a look into it. Like I said, I want everybody to subscribe to this channel if you have not. If you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe right now. I want to come in. I really appreciate y'all for joining me tonight on the post July 4th edition of the Mikey T the Movie Star podcast. I really hope you've been enjoying these episodes, y'all. I take a real pride in doing these podcasts, talking about the hip hop news. I feel like tonight's story directly correlates to the story we did last night, where Gillie got pissed at Wack 100. Well, Gillie did something that in a lot of people's eyes changed Wack 100 forever. When Jay Prince came on $1 million worth of game and labeled Wack 100 Officer Rat 100. We've all seen the memes. We've all seen all the pictures out there of Wack 100 looking suspect. All the little, when they do them shits and they make fake pictures of people in cop outfits and shit like that. We've all seen those pictures, you guys. They got Wack 100 looking crazy out there. But it doesn't look like he's letting it affect him. Why? Because he's continuously just trying to get to the bag. He's not worried about what people think about the bags that he's getting. That's when you're going to lose. When you're concerned, when you are concerned with what people think about what you're doing. Wack 100, from what Reek was telling me, apparently has a diaper business now coming. If you are concerned with what the general public is going to think about your means to get that paper, then you've already lost, you guys. Then you've already lost. That's a little piece of knowledge that I'm going to leave you guys with to end off tonight's live podcast. I really do appreciate everybody for tapping in. Appreciate y'all for checking out my interviews, staying tuned in on these live podcasts. You know what I'm saying? I really enjoy the interaction with everybody. I definitely enjoy the interaction with everybody. I really feel like you guys are the best live audience. It was an amazing show tonight. Like I said, tonight's show directly correlated with last night's show. It was like a sister piece in regard to the fact that last night was when Wack ticked Gillie off. Tonight, we went over the piece where Gillie ticked Wack 100 off. Yep. Interviewing Jay Prince, it might have been the last straw. You know what I mean? But it seems like the two of them talked. Wack said they talked after the BET Awards on the phone, apparently. And they had a couple issues over Jay Prince, I guess. Their issues were really over Wack 100 going so hard on Jay Prince. But guys, I appreciate y'all for tapping in tonight. I'm the host, Mikey T, the movie star. Make sure y'all tap in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. And I'll see y'all in the next live episode, man. Much love, everybody. Much love. I'm about to get up out of here for the night. I'll see y'all in the next episode, man. The Mike.